Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome to a best of 3 between Showtime, the European Protoss powerhouse, and Percival, the quickest rising player, I want to say worldwide, but definitely in Korea. This guy is one to watch. Over the past 7 months, he's gained, I believe, over 400 points on Aligalak, which is a very, very impressive performance. And with the most recent patch, he seems to be enjoying PvT a lot more, which used to be his weakest matchup for a long time. And now has started, to ever so slowly shift into a matchup that he's getting quite good at. He's also a player that I hugely respect, Percival. He is someone that does not GG or did not GG Protoss players for a very long time. And very often when you have these people that do not GG on the ladder or in custom games, when no one is watching, they'll put on a little mask, and start acting like losers once there's a camera on them. And when they're playing tournaments, the bigger the tournament, the more likely they will be to GG. However, Percival was very consistent in his hatred for Protoss. He said, I do not believe that Protoss players deserve a GG because they don't need to play well in order to win. And he was just consistent in that belief. And although it is not a belief that I necessarily shared with him, I do like someone with a spine. And Percival definitely is a person with a spine, because he was playing on, I want to say it was the DreamHack main stage against Clem, and he just decided to leave without a GG as well, which I think is just fantastic. Like, it's if you're not gonna GG because you believe it's stupid, then at least be consistent in it. And he was very, very consistent. I think that's cool. So he won my respect with that forever. Being a consistently emotionally immature. I think that is great. Nowadays, though, he said that he believes that TVP is a lot more fair, and as a result, Protoss players have been receiving the good game from him as of late. So we'll see if he'll have to type a couple of those out, or if Showtime is not going to be up to the task of taking out Percival here. As the double adept harass came in, we have a 3 racks opener here, which is a very serious push, a very serious attack that Percival is mounting. We have a robotics facility defensively, 2-gate, Reaper still aggressive out. I wonder what this is gonna be. Showtime feels to me like he wants to go into a 2-gate expand, so relatively greedy. You see that probe now moving over. It's indeed gonna be the case. eBay comes out behind this, double Marauder starting here as well. The earlier you tend to build the Marauders, the later the factory tends to be, by the way, because the Marauders cost a lot of gas. It's a effect of life. +1 upgrade for the infantry weapons coming out here as well. We have a neat spread of units. Stalkers going absolutely everywhere. Adepts being split up as well. Showtime, though, very unaware as to what is happening. He's going to be moving back home, waiting for a Widow Mine drop to hit, which will never hit. And his units are not going to be in position to deal with any of this crap. Showtime actually could be in a little bit of trouble here. There's no factory coming up behind this quite yet. I'm expecting it to go down once 100 gas is available. Maybe this worker can do it. Yep, there we go. This worker indeed is going to do it. Factory comes down. A little bit of a supply block here for our good friend Percival. As he moves across the map, takes a couple of SCVs in the mix as well. It's 8, 9 SCVs. Combat shield finishing up in a couple of seconds here. 2 stim gets activated. Blink back. That is a very early stim. This is not gonna last all the way into the natural of his opponent, but batteries are not quite done yet. SCV showing up. Second stim gets activated here as well. We have another Stalker Warp, and don't forget, this is just off those 2 gateways, so not a whole lot of reinforcements are out here. Probes need to be pulled, as the batteries are not done quite yet. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 workers going down here at a very high pace. Make that 13 workers falling in the end. Third base is still up. Pylon is going to get cleared, but this Marauder Marine Force will probably need to retreat back into the woods. We have these little bushes where maybe you can hide behind. Ooh, aggressive blink in. Concussive shells, however, finished up, and that's going to be the end of 3 more Stalkers here. Very, very annoying for Showtime. Almost loses a 4th Stalker. It's Percival behind all of this, consistently macroing up. Look at that. You have a factory, a 3rd command center, +1 that's finishing up in a couple of seconds as well. Percival is not done quite yet with this attacks. It's gonna walk up this ramp. Really not a whole lot defensively here for Showtime. I think this base might actually be toast. Immortal's not gonna be done quite yet. This base in some serious trouble. 5 Marauders are out. Stim forward. Pylon gets taken out. Second Stalker goes down. Third Stalker is going to get taken out here as well. We get 1 force field. As the Immortal popping probably will be the end of this push-in. Or will it? It will. It will. Base is going to survive for now. I don't think there's a whole lot that Percival can do about that. The Immortal is about to show up. Maybe Showtime is just actually going to let it die. Maybe he doesn't believe that he can hold it, and he hesitated there for a moment too long. He's going to lose the Immortal as well as the base. I think Percival here is stimming to victory right now. Here in game number 1, as the third CC is getting closer and closer to finishing up. First 2 medevacs are, what is that, like 90% done as well. Get 1 more stim here. Stalkers are going to get taken out as well. Could we get maybe a Nexus here? No, we're not going to get that. Gonna get barracks 4 and 5 on the way. And a third command center is gonna be flying over here into the triangle location as well. Yeah, Showtime. Getting taken out by an old school build order. Because 3 Rex is a lot of things. And it definitely is old school. Observer moving further forward as well. Turret in the main base. This command center has landed. There comes a flank. It's just going to be tough. Oh, this is a beautiful little maneuver. Look at that. The anticipation here. Beautiful. Knowing exactly what the hell Showtime was going to do. We're going to get 1 more blink, but this Stalker's also going to go down. Medevac ended up falling with 5 Stalkers dying here. Probably is going to be the end for Showtime. As GG gets called, and Percival win game number 1. And let's see on the second map what the switch up is going to be from our German Protoss player. See if the wall is going to be capable of holding whatever else Percival's going to throw it in. It's going to be a Reaper first here once more. Probably a different follow-up though. This is something, by the way, that I really like that Terrans have been doing. So a lot of Terrans, rather than building the CC out of position, they always want to build it in the right spot. But then sometimes what happens is the Adept shows up and it manages to deal some damage because the CC isn't done yet. This SCV goes down, you're just delaying it further and further. Well, here you're just saying, okay, I'm gonna build it one spot, like one little hex too far to the north, and I will have to float it. That's just how it is. But at least it will be done in time. You know, you don't need to worry about any Adepts moving across the map, stopping your CC from building, because it's going to be done by the time the first Adept hits. So that's going to be great news. And I like that consistent approach out of Percival. Saying, hey, I just want a consistent output. That's all I care about. As the second, or so the Reaper's going to come in before the second Adept pops out. Going to get a single probe kill here. That's actually quite neat. Should not lose this Reaper. It's not going to. At the same time, we have this Adept moving in right now. SCV is fairly damaged. So despite this being built instantly, Adept actually was still in time. That's interesting. There's been some real neat probe micro out of Showtime to make that happen. Orbital stars here. And behind this we are going to have a factory plus starport. Yeah, I would have been surprised to see a second triple Rex again. It's just not a very common build order. Because the build order is not that great. Reaper here taking a fat hit to the face. Love to see it. Chrono boost on the blink as well. And let's see what our good friend Percival actually is planning on doing. It's going to be a single Hellion into what is known as a tech lab. So 3 options. Either a swap with the starport, Cyclone, or a siege tank. It's going to be a swap with the starport. This is probably the least common option. And now here we have 2 options, Raven or Banshee. It's going to be Banshee, wow. Okay, this is extremely rare as an opener. I have seen this of Reaper first into a Raven, but into Banshee, Reaper first with a single gas is extremely rare because it's hitting quite late. So most of the time this just isn't going to do so much. Now, defensively, I would be very happy with this if I'm Percival and you're playing against 3-gate Blink. You know what? That actually is pretty darn sweet. That is actually going to be pretty darn sweet. Because you're going to have 2 tanks out by the time your opponent hits. And that should be enough to have 1 tank on the low ground, 1 tank on the high ground. It's going to be real tough here for Showtime to get major damage done. However, the Banshees they're going to be hitting at like this weird timing. Kind of in between when you're being hit and you want to do something on the other side of the map. Second Banshee is going to come out here. First tank sets up. Next barracks on the way out already as well. Third base coming out too. And there will be a prism here. Also going to keep 3 stalkers at home. Observer's going to get rallied into the main base. And this Banshee is... It probably should pre-cloak. I'm not sure if it will. I'm not sure if it's going to pre-cloak. We're going to have to wait and see. Might also wait for a second Banshee, by the way. Something you absolutely can. Okay, we're going to get a... Oh, I love this. Look at that. A quick scout here with the Hellion. Might want to scout a little bit further up north for that pylon as well. He's just waiting until that second Banshee shows up here too. He's going to get a blink into the main base right now. This is an awkward area to blink into, I think. It is. Because we have those tank shots, right? Yeah, Marines are taking a serious beating though. Good control with these stalkers as we're going to get a blink in forward. Rest of the Marines are going to go onto the high ground here as well. The double Banshee now wants to start flying in. Still have 3 stalkers plus 2 observers at home. As the SCVs are taking a bit of a beating. Marines have taken a bit of a beating. And despite the cute little wall, this does not end up necessarily being great. We get a fly in here with the double Banshee. Please don't shoot this. Yeah, he needs to wait with shooting until he's in the natural. Let's see what Showtime is seeing here right now. It's going to lose probably 6 to 7 workers. Going to be 4 here instantly. 5 workers going down. 6, 7, 8 workers already falling. 10 workers going down. 11 workers going down. Can I get 12? No, just 11 workers. That is a very serious number though. Very, very serious number. Behind this we're going into 8 gate, Robo Bay, charge, +1, all of that good jazz. And Medevac over here. 25 out of 30 seconds. So these are going to be ready. Showtime still wants to clear this bunker. He really cares about it. I mean, it's going to cost Percival some money because he probably wanted to salvage it in a moment's time anyway. Observer way too far forward is probably going to get sniped here by the Terran player. There's a drop hat into the main base as well at the same time. Feels like Percival is fairly ready for everything that's coming for him, but at the same time... Oh. Let's get it. Doesn't have a great supply. Doesn't really have great anything. He's going to move over to take a third base right now. Marauders coming in further forward. Almost goes down, but not quite. So we have a Nexus over here on the fourth base already. Going into Colossus, Thermal Lance, +1. Neat little hamster. Fixed him in for it. Lots of Marauders in this army, by the way. Look at that. 11 Marauders, 17 Marines, 2 tanks. Not the greatest position, all in the middle rather than on the edges, which is where you want them to be. Mine is going to connect with some of these Zealots. Target fire is not on the Colossus, as the Marauders are chewing through this force. Single Colossus behind this will be the anchor of this army, but without a battery, that is scary. Yes, I do believe that Showtime is going to push this back, at least for now. Percival's going to move towards the bottom side to attempt and cancel this fourth base. Might actually get it. These Marines are on the wrong side of the road. Need to be sent back, and that's indeed what's happening right now. So we get a little bit more kiting here. A bit of damage on these Medevacs as well, as 2 more Zealots end up falling. 120 supply to 108. Third base with the double gases being taken here as well. Vikings being added into the mix here too. And I'm kind of waiting for that Ghost Academy to be thrown down. Vikings moving forward. Oh, nice flank here onto the Stalkers. What a great little play. Wanting to catch that moment. Gets 1 more Colossus here as well. What a great move there out of Percival. That stim forward with just the Marauders to catch these Stalkers, while the Vikings were shooting at the Colossus. Hugely neat micro maneuver out of the Korean Terran player, who now is potentially actually pushing through here. Next Colossus or Zealot Warping is going to be quite big, as there's still a single Viking in the sky bullying these Colossi, as the Marauder Marine Force is going to get bullied back by the Zealots as well. I think Percival actually needs to calm down here for a second, wait until he gathers a slightly larger army, spends a bit of his cash, as he has the second eBay, the Armory, the Ghost Academy all coming down, Forge CC at the same time as well. 70 workers already against the 67 of his opponent. And I think Percival is actually in a very, very fine position, a very playable position here. Absolutely. 5th base is going to get taken here for Showtime, so he's going to kind of start boosting himself up into that mid game. With the high eco like we see so many pros players do as of late. No sensor tower quite yet, but we have our bunker a little bit far forward in my opinion. Wouldn't mind if that was like a little hex further down. Some depots nearby, but oh well. It is what it is in life often. It is what it is. 5th Nexus indeed is going to get thrown down here. 141 supply to 131. Just a random dead scan. Doesn't see anything because there's nothing there. You know, an observer down here. Is that the only ops that we still have? Yeah, just a single ops. The first round of Ghost coming out. I'd be shocked if Percival decides to fight right now. I think it actually would be a very, very significant blunder. Like, you're gonna get the... Yeah, that is a huge mistake. I do not understand this attack at all. You're going to get an insane power spike in about 35 seconds once these Ghosts come out and join up with your main force. There is no reason to even attempt an attack before that. What you could do is like a fake move out and then look for run-bys. That is something Clem often does. Clem will walk towards the middle of the map and then expect a Prism and a Zealot run-by to go in, and then you're actually busy hunting for those. It's very tricky to play against that. Because there's so many fake move-outs when you're playing against Clem that you never know when he's truly moving out, as a Disruptor Shot is going to connect big time. Oh. Percival not paying attention. He's going to get pushed back here completely. Observer falls, a Zealot run-by or Zealot Warping at least coming in from the side. A moment of inattention out of the Korean Terran player here. Allows Showtime to take a pretty decent trade. Factory moving far forward is going to see this Prism flying in. And it will instantly trigger the Viking response here. There we go. Single turret here as well. I mean, that is absolutely going to be the end here of this Prism. No matter what you think. Colossi at the same time also moving forward, so the Prism will get cleared here. The Vikings need to move back into position to deal with any potential threat. Percival, 2-2 upgrades about to finish up, or at least +2 attack about to finish up. Viking count continuing to grow. Barracks count is at 8. Starport count at 2. So the production is here, the fort base is here, the 8 gas is going to be here. We have 80 workers to 74. And now we're really in this at the stage of the game where I think a lot of Terrans, post-patch, feel very comfortable here. Like, once that ghost count starts to grow, you get up to like 8, 9, 10 ghost. It becomes really difficult for Protoss to start taking decent fights. And we're most likely going to see a transition into Tempest at some point. If you want to go into that proper late game as Showtime. So Purification Nova is now coming out. That is going to be number 1. Doesn't really connect with anything. Even the ones that do connect do not really get the hits that you need. It's Percival here taking the start of a winning trade at least. Building too many Marauders in my mind. Not enough Ghost. I was talking with Clem last weekend and I was asking him what his ideal composition is like, and he practically said the more Ghost the merrier. Like, he doesn't really see a reason why it build more Marauders if you can also build Ghost. They're just better. Freaking powerful. We're gonna get a big moving forward. Vikings in the sky. Dealing quickly with all of those Colossi. Could probably try and land them at this point. Could also try and keep them alive. And if Percival manages to max out at this point, what the hell does Showtime have? He has a single splash unit in the Disruptor. Colossi now coming out. Gonna get a split off of the army, which is... I mean, it is something you can do. Or it is some... Yeah, it's definitely something he can do because he's doing it, but... Not sure how much I would recommend this move. He is so far forward with like a portion of his force right now as Showtime's going to blink on top of this. We'll clear one of the medevacs, a couple of ghosts as well. Ghost count only at 3. Liberators are being added in very, very quickly and will set up siege over here on the 5th base. You have an extra base being built here as well, by the way. On that bottom side, ship weapons level 2 finishing up in a couple of seconds here as well. Planetary. And we are absolutely cooking. Positively cooking. Liberator could siege up. Yep, there we go. Vikings are gonna snipe this though. And the prism goes down before anything major happens. 16 gateways here for Showtime. 16 gateways here for Showtime. That is a lot of gateways. That actually is a lot of gateways. Behind this Blink DT as well. So we're gonna go into the Dark Templar. See if we can do anything with that. No advanced... No, there is advanced ballistics. I lied. Look at you. Alright, we're gonna get our siege up here. Showtime. We're seeing what's happening. Need to pull back right now. Splits up some zealots to deal with the Liberator. Not sure how useful that's gonna be. These guys... Oi, oi, oi. Straight up dying. Colossus also in some trouble. Actually, Colossus is dead. That is the biggest amount of trouble you can be in. As, this is not the fight that Percival was looking for, by the way. This is a really poorly executed battle. Right on top of the bridge. Percival actually lost a lot of supply there, surprisingly so. I don't understand why. Did he have a lot of supply just waiting in his main base, or... He just doesn't have so many ghosts in his force this entire time. We'll siege up right now with these guys, and... Stay secure. 19 probes have gone down behind all of this. I think there was some double harass. I'm sorry for missing it. This base seems to have been attacked as well. One of these stalkers has 1 kill. That is neat for the stalkers. Sensor tower spots this army movement. Liberators are gonna siege up. CC might get cancelled. And it's not the greatest move that's ever been played, but it's also not the end of the world here for Showtime. You know, getting a CC is actually kind of neat. Gets forced away into a corner. Oh, what the hell? This is why you always have a ghost in every run by, so you can EMP the nexus that you're attacking. At the same time, he's just going to go into the main base from here on out. Also because ghosts are genuinely very good against split toss armies. Like having an EMP on top of an army is freaking huge too. Oh, he actually did have a ghost, he just must not have used that EMP correctly. At the same time, this right side base is going to get taken out. Some really nice multitasking out of Percival, who is honestly kind of destroying Showtime right here. This base is gonna fall, like guaranteed. This army is not gonna be capable of holding against that many Liberators. So there's going to be some solid fight. And this is really the picture that I've been seeing get painted again and again and again and again over the past few weeks. These resource loss steps in the late game are looking so damn good for Terran. Like a 7k difference, this is how it starts, and it's just going to continue kind of moving in that same direction majority of the time. I triple Nexus on the way, which is a cool move. I like that. I feel like the problem often is that it feels hard for the Protoss player to transition into Tempest, because the Tempest transition is such a slow one. Like, you're really not moving into Tempest at a high pace. Actually, you're moving into Tempest at a very slow pace majority of the time. One medevac gets taken out. The medevac count here actually isn't that high. We do have this Caduceus reactor on the way, so that's going to help a little bit. At least regaining that energy, not at healing faster. Liberator sieging up as well, quite aggressively. I feel like Percival's probably pushing a bit too hard here right now. There's really no reason for it. I love the split moves that he was playing earlier, but he's not maxed out. He is not maxed with his army at the moment, and Showtime is actually going to jump in and try to burst this. He's doing a pretty darn good job bursting this as well. We get a pickup, fly straight into the main base. We've seen Percival do this twice now already, where he'll lose a fight and then he'll pick up and fly right into enemy territory. This time though, Showtime is completely ready. Percival down to 140 supply. Is he going to have the time to rebuild all of his units? Potentially knows this Nexus is being sniped by 3 Marauders. Percival's army just not good enough there with the fight. He was at like 170 supply with 20 supply of that 170 pretty much in barracks still, and then a lot of supply also in workers. He's been consistently higher in workers than his opponent. Might have just got a little bit too excited there and attacked prematurely. It happens to the best. Could have waited for a max out, and now he's going to be the one in trouble, as 5 Colossi here are stutter stepping up a ramp. Not that many units defensively for our good friend Percival. Which is actually quite sad. Showtime moving on up in this world. Top of a ramp. This base ends up falling. More zealots coming in as well. We have these bases that are still active. And Percival's desperately trying to get something going in his own main base. Has two liberators here, which is neat. But also simply not enough. 2 more Vikings coming out soon. GG gets called. Showtime is gonna be tying up this series. And that brings us to Ruby Rock. Also one of the new maps. We've actually gotten a full new map pool, by the way. I believe every single map has been replaced out of the previous map pool, which I freaking love. I love having full new map pools. Ooh, what are we doing here, Mr. Percival? Look at you. Is this gonna be an eBay block? It could still be a Proxy Rex as well. No, it can't be. It's too late for a Proxy Rex. Too late for a Proxy Rex. Born too late to explore the world. Born too early to explore space. And this is also, sent too late for a Proxy Rex, but too early for a Standard Scout. Perfectly in time, though, for an eBay block. Which is... whoa, what the hell is this? I was gonna say, which is what this is going to be. This is gonna be an eBay block, but that's not the case. We have a... This is really far away as well. What the hell are we proxying for? Maybe he doesn't know where his opponent spawns? As it is a new map. Like, what the hell? This is so far. This could be an orbital command skip, by the way. No, it's not. We have low mining over here. I bet this is going to be Proxy Marauder still. This feels like Proxy Marauder to me, still. And the CC is going to go down at 143. There we go. Perfectly envisioned as well of Showtime. And this is indeed going to be a tech lab. So we're going to see a triple Marine Marauder attack, I think. Probably he might be walking into a bit of a supply block here. He'll need to cut his next Marine. Okay, it is going to be a cancel on the orbital. So it was a fake orbital into... Well, not a real orbital. We get Marauder here. This is the Marine Lord build. Marine Lord made this build in, I want to say it was like 2018 or so, 2019. It's one of the best builders, one of the coolest build orders that I've seen in a very long time. And we just don't see it a lot anymore. It's really difficult to figure out what the hell's going on as a pros. Because you see a standard CC timing, you see Marines. If you don't have a blind battery, this can be so tough to deal with. On top of that, just a little bit of damage is enough majority of the time. You don't need infinite damage with your Marauder push, because there is a CC behind this, right? This is not all in. Did he see the lack of a reactor there? I'm not sure if he did. These 3 Marines are going to be moving across right now. The CC is going to finish up. And we're going to have 2 Marauders, a Gateway, Stalker behind this, but Warp Gate not quite done yet. Yeah, I think Showtime should know right now what the hell is going on. And I'm expecting a full-on recall in 3, 2, 1. Battery comes in. Do we have enough? We don't have... Yeah, we have enough energy for a recall. And here, Stalker's moving out on the map. And Showtime is more than in just a little bit of trouble. He is in a world of crap. Welcome to Crap World, brother. Percival is the mayor. The mayor of Crap World. He welcomes you. A couple of fat Marauder shots right in the face. Battery's actually gonna finish up, which is a big deal. We get the healing here on the pylon as well, which is also a big deal. 10 workers have fallen so far, as another Marauder is gonna get targeted down. Target fire with the Marauders here on the Adept, rather than on the Stalker, which is just a mistake, because this is not matching the correct damage type there. Marauders deal more damage to armored, which is something that Stalkers are. Stalkers are armored. He instead attacked these Adepts, which means less damage output overall. A huge blunder here out of Percival. Just a micro mistake. Absolutely a micro mistake. Despite all of that, Percival's still in a fantastic position. He's going to have 4 barracks. One of those barracks is on the wrong side of the road. It's gonna scout with it actually, rather than trying to keep it alive. Bunkers coming down. We have an eBay on the way as well. But yeah, worker count is very close, and instantly Showtime decides to follow this up with a proxy, not a proxy, just a dark shrine. Barracks is actually going to try and scout this, by the way. Not sure if he's going to get that info. It's going to be real freaking close. Oh, it's going to be just fine. It's going to be just fine, right? Yeah, he barely saw the robotics facility, missed the dark shrine. So it's going to be a Prism plus DT drop as a follow-up. We have a proxy pylon here as well. I think this is to help out for the stalkers. You can warp in some more stalkers. Because Blink has already finished up. And that's going to put quite a bit of pressure on the opponent here right away. Ooh. We are going to get a Prism, right? I don't understand the proxy gateway if we also are getting a Prism. I just don't understand that at all. Because this is actually delaying the Prism, if anything. And it's not getting the Dark Templar out faster, because this gate won't be done quite yet. Stalkers do manage to get to the high ground. I think that was with the help of an Adept. I'm sorry if you're missing that. 2 DTs now being warped in, but no Prism still. This is really a big surprise to me. DT Prism here would have done some serious harm to his opponent. There is going to be 1 scan potentially available. Prism coming in just now. And here we go. Do we get the scan? Get the scan, 2 DTs go down. Blink Stalkers also being forced back home. I mean, this is just awful. If this was just done with a Prism, I feel like Showtime, I'm not saying he would have won the game, but it would have been freaking tough here for Percival to deal with it. Right now, this is completely fine. I don't understand the point of the gateway either. This was obviously an improvised response, because I don't think he was quite prepared for, you know, the early game that we ended up getting here. This gate is going to get blasted. This Prism is going to warp in, I think, a DT. As the Stalkers continue kind of kiting this army away. Starport on the way, extra depots, depot drop as well. So Percival is getting supply block. 3rd base on the way, as well as double batteries. Charge, 8 gateway. Maybe a fort at some point is what I'm kind of feeling here in this game. That's -1 Marauder. Gonna probably have to stim if you want to move across the map here with at least some units, because otherwise you're just gonna get kited to death. Don't quite understand what the point is here when it comes to that. The DT and the Prism is gonna go into the main base. Does it get to escape? No, it doesn't. Showtime too busy with other things on the map right now. Supplies are heavily favoring Percival here. Showtime also has a pretty crap army altogether. Stims towards the bottom. Looks for a 4th base, but isn't there. This is such an aggressive push out, honestly. Okay, DT shows up. It's gonna kill this DT at least. Now go for a couple of these Stalkers. Stalkers do blink back into the batteries. It's not gonna be good enough, as the damage output of these Marauders is just a little bit too high. Another blink back. We get a blink forward. Or a blink back, a stim back, a blink forward. First 2 medevacs should be out right about now. There we go. Gonna join up with this force pretty soon. Showtime is adding in his force as well as the 2 final gateways and the Robo Bay. As he's slowly but surely moving into, is that what? 7? 7 gate. 7 gate, forge, Robo Bay. Big stim in. Another SCV pool, like a minor SCV pool. Freaking Percival loves these like small SCV pools, not the big ones. No, with 25 SCVs. You know what? Just 7 or 8. It's going to be good enough for a little bit of tanking over here. And indeed, it's going to be good enough. SCVs continue to chase. 8 workers have gone down so far already. We're still 47 workers to 58 as the Marauder force continues chasing the Protoss around. And Showtime is running out of a lot of things here. Units, probes, mining. And soon being run out of this game, most likely. As these probes are trying to escape. You see the hunt of the probes here, but Percival is just going to find it as they teleport back home. A couple of Stalkers now are going to look for contact with this force. Behind this we have a Ghost Academy. 3rd CC, barracks 4 and 5 already done. Like, upgrades significantly better here as well for Percival with 1-1 against 0-0. And I am having a very difficult time seeing how Showtime is going to maneuver himself into a playable position as he's stuck, caught in a trap. He can't get out. Warps in the DT. Do we have a scan? Yep, we have a scan. We have a stim. We have more reinforcements. Out of energy though on these medevacs, at least for now, as the Colossus pops out. That's actually quite neat. Yeah, Colossus is going to be very helpful. Zealot's continuing to die here as well. Yes, I mean, Showtime is he's just warping. Zero thoughts for the future because he just needs to live in the moment. He just needs to live in the here and now. Trying to survive for another second as Percival, I think, is just going to win this game, to be honest. And with this game, this series as well. We get a stim in forward, robotics facility gets taken out. Mines in the back doing a decent job. And even if all of these Marauders and all of these medevacs were to fall right now, there is just nothing here for Showtime. He just doesn't have enough stuff. He cannot walk across the map and counterattack, even if he were to kill all of this. He just doesn't have the unit. He cannot go into a macro game because he doesn't have a 3rd. Can't go into a macro game because he doesn't have upgrades. Can't go into a macro game because he can't build units that he wants. So he can't all in. He can't macro. That only leaves him with one thing, and that is dying. He's doing a great job at that. He's one of the best. Key player when it comes to dying. Percival is playing this out very slowly. DT is being sent across the map. I think this is an okay play. Might just get scanned. No, Percival doesn't even care. He's like, oh, whatever. Oh, no, he does care. EMP plus a couple of shots there. The DT goes down. Oh, kills it on mine. Oh, then you know that you're far ahead. I wouldn't mind seeing him like scout around with just a single Marine. But at the same time, he is going to go for the kill here. Like, just in case there's a proxy base, you always want to check. But apparently he knew there was no proxy base. GG gets called. Percival wins the series with a 2-1 score and blasts Showtime out of the water.